Hey, what's going on, my fellow dads? Welcome to another thundering Thursday, where today I'm going to be talking about difficult decisions we must make as a dadpreneur, right? So I'm talking about a real specific decision in this case, the decision between working and building your business, and on the other hand, making sure that you spend quantity and quality time with your kids and with your wife, right? So that's one of the biggest struggles I've had ever. I'm way better at it. I'm actually upscaling it right now to an even more focused setup. But I have heard this over and over again from other dadpreneurs. It's like time management is my hardest job, balancing my life and work, making sure that I spend enough time on creating my business and at the same time spend that time with my kids, right? We hear it so many times that people have a 9 to 5, they are working for 40 hours a week and that's it. And then they decide, hey, I want my freedom. And then they start becoming an entrepreneur. And now all of a sudden they're working like 80, 100, maybe 120 hours a week, right? Which is crazy. And doesn't make much sense, because where's that freedom then, right? So we actually tie ourselves so much to the business that now all of a sudden we're even more tied up than we were before when we had a 9 to 5, right? So to give you an example, so one of the things that happened today was, since I have my business, I can decide when to leave. So one of my live interviews got canceled at 9:30. So I decided to leave at 6:30 in the morning and take the kids, and we drove down to my parents' house where we're going to be staying for the next 3 weeks, all right? And then after that, I had a call in regards to becoming a better coach. As you guys know, 2 months ago, I started, I became a coach. I decided that that's the great next step. I got several clients, and I want to make sure that I stay ahead of them as far as possible, because they're growing fast. So it's a challenge, but it's great. And I got the help of Brandon Handley, a good buddy of mine, a fatherhood for the rest of us, and he's actually starting something new, which is going to be off the chain for sure. So him and I, we get to see each other, or well, like this, one time a week, where we discuss coaching, right? So we coach each other, we ask each other questions, and really try to help each other. So it's actually dual. It's like, and we're coaching each other, and we're learning how to better become a coach, asking the right questions in certain situations, trying to help our clients to grow faster, right? So that's pretty cool. However, here's the deal, right? So that's 11:30. Usually the kids are at school. Now they're not, because it's summer vacation. So they decided, and I'm pointing right there because right there is outside, and there's an amazing, really nice swimming pool right there, and it's hot. So they decided, like, okay, let's go in the swimming pool. We want to go in the swimming pool. So my parents, their opa and oma, as it's called in Dutch, right? They decide that's great. So they all went to the swimming pool, and I'm sitting here talking to him, looking at the same time, like, and I can hear him splashing and stuff, having a good time. So that's where we have to make a choice. Like, we have to be present, right? We have to be in the now. So this is what I chose, and I chose right now. Well, I chose then to do that coaching call because it's important to grow my business and then be able to spend more time with my kids in the future, right? But it's hard sometimes because it's like that future is not guaranteed. However, the now is, right? So me saying like, okay, right now I'm going to go into the pool with my kids. That is like, okay, quality time with my kids right now, while building on my coaching business. We never know what's going to happen in the future. However, we do know that it's important, right? So those are very difficult decisions that we have to make every single day. Now, for example, I decide to go live, spend my time with you, share my insights with you on, okay, hey, look, this is what's going on with me. This is what I'm thinking about. This is how I solve it, right? And sometimes I just ask you guys, like, hey, how are you guys doing this? How are you making sure that you spend enough quality time with your kids and quantity time with your kids, right? Because it's fun to hear from you guys as well, and making sure that you guys learn from me and I learn from you. I think that's the way it works as well in life, right? We always learn from one another if we stay open. So that said, right now means I'm with you. That means that I'm not with my kids, right? Now they're having tons of fun. I don't know if you hear the pings and the boings and the sounds. My oldest one is playing a puzzle on the computer with his oma, with his grandma, and my youngest is sitting with my dad, right? He's being my dad's reading a book, which means that my son's gonna fall asleep. All right, that's a different story. I'll go into that another day. But my father reads, everybody falls asleep. That's pretty much the gist of it. So that said, yesterday during a live interview with Patrick Antonucci, he had something so powerful. He was talking about multi-generational legacy. I'm going to repeat that. Multi-generational legacy. Meaning everything I do right now, I do with a mindset of not just impacting the life of my kids, I do it to impact the lives of my kids' kids and their kids' kids. That makes sense, right? So I think 3 generations further by what I do now, which made me realize, like, oof, I love that. It's time to step up my game even more, right? It is time to spend up my game. Because here's the deal. Yes, I can be working all the time and building this business up, and then until hopefully one day it's going to be working. What about all the time that I have, all those days that I miss them with my kids, right? What about the time, because they're going to learn then, okay, so daddy works, meaning that they're going to do the same, right? Either they're going to find a job or they're going to become a dadpreneur as I, and what they're going to do is like, okay, yeah, I got kids, but I got to work. Right? So I don't want them to associate like, okay, daddy has to work. I don't want them to come home one day and ask me, daddy, do you have to work or do you have time to play with us? Right? I want them to know, like, if they're at home and I am at home as well, we can play. Like, they don't have to ask if I have to work. We'll play, right? So that's a new thing. Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate you. See, I'm this week, I'm like really excited. I get tons of messages. I appreciate you, Jamie. Thank you for saying that. So the thing is that we gotta be as intentional with our time as possible, and cutting it down more and more to the one thing in regards to work, and making sure that we work as less as possible when we're with our kids. Right? And then spend as much intentional time with them as possible. So when they come home, they know it is daddy, son's time, right? And it's not son's playing, daddy working time. So that's my next step. It's going pretty well. Of course, I pick them up, I go to the playground, but I want it every single time. We have to look. It's like, okay, where can I improve? Where can I improve? Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. It's nice and short, right? You should have seen us yesterday in the live with Chris Niemeyer. We had the same haircut, the same everything. So hilarious. So being intentional with that is the most important thing right now. That's what I'm going to be focused on. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys on how that's going and what I'm doing there. All right. So I'm going to be updating my templates on planning, week planning, all that stuff very, very soon, and I'll be happy to share that with you. Anyway, that said, look, there's a comment of me in there. If you want to know exactly when I go live with amazing guests like Chris Niemeyer, like Patrick Antonucci, make sure you click this link, and you also can have my free guide towards solving your challenges time and again. All right, thank you. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for your messages. Make sure if you like this to share this message with all your friends, and to give me some love as well. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.